Hi ladies, welcome to the Feminine Mystery. My name is Azalea Dawn, and on this channel I discuss femininity, elegance, and strategic advice to help you succeed in your level up journey. If that content sounds right for you, please consider subscribing for more content like this. And please go ahead and hit that like button if you found this video useful to help spread the message to more like-minded ladies. Without further ado, let's get into it. Now, the reason that I chose to make this video is because I've heard it be a topic of discussion, men asking women what it is that they bring to the table, what it is that they can provide, and a lot of women really struggling with how to best answer this question. I thought I would come up with a list of things that women realistically bring to the table in men's lives, the significance that women have in men's lives. But I would also just like to preface this video by saying, the kind of guy that asks you this, he's probably just trying to sort of, lower your value in his mind. If he's coming to you without a plan for you in his life, that should really say something about his intentions for not just you, but himself and his life. People who are serious, people who have serious intentions, they have serious plans. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the list. Number 1, you are the gateway to pleasure. So when I say this, what I'm really talking about is the fact that you are the gateway not only to physical and intimate pleasure, but you are the gateway to everything that is pleasurable about life. Your beauty makes every experience that you accompany him with all that much better. Think about it. Think about a man going on a vacation, going there with himself, alone, that's a good experience. Going there with friends, a better experience. But going there with a beautiful woman that adores you and is just so pleasant to look at, that makes that experience so much better, so much more memorable, so much more special in a man's life. And you really need to think about that. When you are with him, you're enhancing every part of his life that is pleasurable. You are taking that and you're amplifying that. You're contributing your beauty, your energy, your radiance. And that is something that, a lot of men really do value, and you should value that about yourself. So when you're thinking about what it is that you bring to your table, first and foremost, your beauty is literally right there at the table. And that's really what I wanted to say first and foremost. Next up on this list, you are his access to social status. Now think about this. The highest status position in the world is the President of the United States. And think about it. Out of all of United States history, the hundreds of years that the United States has been an entity and had presidents, how many of those presidents have been single? Right? The highest position in really the free world. These men could have any sort of lifestyle they want, and yet still a vast majority of them are married. Why is that? Women are a form of social status for men. Having a woman not only who is your girlfriend, but who is your wife, a woman who loves you, a beautiful woman who is constantly there with you, supporting you, uplifting you, and looking to you and your leadership, that is a piece of social status that is worth more than any watch that a man can put on his arm. That's worth more than any car that he can drive. It is really worth something in the minds of not just women, but in other men. Men look towards men who are married and who have families as being more men than other people. And that is something that really matters in the eyes of a man. So if he values himself and his status in the world, he should be looking for a wife. Next up, you are his access to intimacy. So when I talk about intimacy, I'm not just talking about, physical intimacy in the bedroom, but I'm talking about that experience of what it is to be close to another person. Women tend to have a lot more friends than men, platonic friends, and it's more acceptable for women to just be close to other women. But when it comes to men, their experience of what it is to be physically touching another person, to be laying with another person, sleeping with this person, having your arms wrapped around someone, just physically being in contact with them, and having that emotional closeness as well. A lot of, like this man's most of his experiences in the realm of intimacy are going to be with you as a woman. And that is really a beautiful thing, and that is something that you are bringing to the table. You are literally being his person, for the rest of his life, hopefully. And that is a really special thing. All of those special moments, you are going to be the person that's with him, that's close to him, that's holding his hand, that has your arm around his shoulder, and vice versa. And that experience of what it is to be close with another person in such an impactful way, that's going to be defined by you as a woman. And that really is a beautiful thing. And it's another thing that you are bringing to the table. Next up on this list, you build social community. Now, when we talk about social community, women in general tend to have more friends than a lot of men. Women tend to have closer relationships to other people than a lot of men. Women are the first people who go out and they seek out other people. They seek out other women. They seek out other men. And they form community around them. Even in offices, they'll be the people who organize get-togethers. If you're in a home, they'll be the people who organize your birthday parties, lunches, gatherings. And they're going to, help turn this from just being a community of people who kind of sort of know each other into a community of people who are going to be there for each other, who are going to be involved in each other's lives. Women build community for the people around them, and when women enter into the lives of men, they build community into those men's lives. Think about it. When you even look at men who are the girlfriends of vloggers here on YouTube, not to be too specific, but a lot of times, if those men are having birthday parties, the people who are invited to those birthday parties are invited there by their girlfriends, right? By the women in these men's lives. They invite the people there. They know most of the people there. They're facilitating those relationships and those intimate connections in those men's lives. And that really is a beautiful thing as well. You are building a social community for a man when you come into his life. And that's another thing that you are giving to him. You're bringing that to the table. Now, ladies, if I had to give a one single line, very simple answer to what it is that you bring to the table, well, frankly, you will be the mother of his child, right? And that's not to say that every time you meet a man, you're automatically going to, give birth to his child. But ideally, a man who is being deliberate and intentional in his life, he has a plan for himself. He knows that he wants to settle down and build a family. He's looking for the person who's going to be the mother of his child. He's looking for the person who is going to be the most important person in that baby's life, probably up to, their teenage years. This person, a mother, is going to be the most foundational figure in a child's life by far. And men who are serious about, themselves and their future, they're taking that role of who's going to be the mother of their child very seriously. So when you think about somebody who's asking you the question, oh, what do you bring to the table? Are they not seeing any qualities in you that would be ideal for, partnering and building a family together? Are they not looking for someone to be the mother of their child? Like, what is going on there would be my question for that person who's asking this. But again, this is something beautiful that you can contribute. Next up on this list, when it comes to what is it that a woman brings to the table, if I had to give a simple line answer, a woman is probably bringing the table. In a literal sense, women build homes, right? Men may build houses, but women build homes. Women have a way of adding a woman's touch to a place that makes something feel like a home. Now, when it comes to the way that men live their lives, especially when they're single, maybe they have a bachelor pad, maybe they have a few, bits and bobs to really make them comfortable in there, but they tend not to have this really decorated and intimate and cozy feeling home that really feels like it has this personal touch of life in it. And that is what women bring to the table in that sense. A woman will literally transform a man's life from being such that when he comes home, all the lights are off, it's empty, it's cold, and no one's there, to it being warm and inviting and well lit and being full of life when he arrives back after work after a long day. And that is such a defining and pivotal, aspect of a man's life and a man's mental health overall, that it also is just really worth bringing up here. When it comes to what it is that you're bringing to the table, you're literally bringing the table with you. Now, my last item on this list, ladies, is going to be a bit more of a serious one. You will actually care about him. And for this one, I just want to be very serious. Men's lives can be really hard. There can be battles with all sorts of demons, from addiction issues to issues with employment and having, a horrible boss or a really difficult climb up the corporate ladder. It could be such that he has a career in an industry where he feels like he's surrounded on all sides by hostile enemies. It could just be general mental health issues. But in general, you are the person who is going to care about him. You're going to care about him, his life. You're going to be there for him. And that can't be understated in importance, because when push comes to shove, you could say that, okay, well, your family can be there for you too, but eventually, your parents are going to pass on and they're going to leave a lot of life in front of you for you to live without them. Your siblings, they're going to move on and have their own lives and their own families to keep them busy, and then what happens to you? Does a man really want to be in a place where he is still a bachelor in his 50s, just there alone whenever he has a serious health issue or he has to recuperate from a difficult sickness? Or let's say he's facing some sort of terminal diagnosis. Does he really want to be, having open heart surgery or something with no one there to be by his side? When it comes to the question of what it is that a woman brings to the table, you really need to bring it back to the fact that you are going to be this person's person. You're going to be with them, solving the ultimate problem, which is loneliness in this world. You are going to be that company. And if a man really is not in a position to see value for that, if a man is not really in a position to see value in that, he's probably just not the right person to get into a relationship with. Well, ladies, that's going to be all for me today. I'd like to thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again here on my channel soon.